KTM is the newest of the manufacturers in MotoGP, having joined in 2017. They, as is expected, floundered at the back for a little bit as they developed their bikes and got into the groove of a new sport, but eventually they got their first race win in 2020 and went on to get another 2 race wins that season. It was quite a successful year. After that, people were expecting them to move forward, but in 2021 they actually stepped back a little bit, only getting 2 more race wins, with Brad Binder taking a very famous victory in Austria in those weird mixed conditions. It's a very good race and I recommend you go and watch it. 2022 saw an improvement as KTM pushed forward a little bit and still achieved 2 wins throughout the season with Miguel Oliveira, who's moved on to Aprilia, but both of these wins came in the wet. Brad Binder on the other side of the garage did manage a few podiums, but really the bike was still a step behind the rest of the grid. The Austrian manufacturer has 2 teams on the grid for 2023, this being the Red Bull KTM factory team and the new Gas Tech 3 team, although it's actually not new but it's rebranded. Gas is another motorbike brand, but it falls underneath the umbrella of KTM, so don't get confused. Gas, despite being a different motorbike brand, is still a KTM. In the factory team is someone who I think is one of the most talented riders on the grid and perhaps underrated, Brad Binder, and then next to him is the enormously funny and fast Jack Miller. It's always difficult to place where KTM will end up. This season, their goal will probably be to remain in the top 3 in the Constructors, which they managed last year through sheer consistency, really, and hopefully they will have set themselves a target of getting a few more race wins. They do have a number of new riders, 3, and that may make it more difficult for them to achieve their goals, as these riders have to get used to the bikes again and learn the new team and everything. So we'll see where they end up in about a year's time. Sadly, the signs in testing for KTM don't look particularly good. There have been issues with their bikes and people aren't that confident about how fast they will go, which would seem to be a step back from last year where lots of the news around KTM was actually quite positive. But as I said before, we will see where they end up, and I have my fingers crossed that they can manage another good year.